Cindra versus New feels like a tale as old as time. Cindra is the new aggro deck on the block. She's looking to run everybody over and flick her daggers to finish the game off. New is trying to slow the game down, play the disruption-y, gain some life, mid-range tempo style game. The real question is, which one will do it better? Cindra being able to keep Mask of Momentum alive with things like Flick Knives and Throw Dagger is very powerful. But one of the main concerns you have when you're playing Cindra is getting fatigued. Because if you get hit by too many surgical extractions or too many Leave No Witnesses, those are power cards out of your deck and it could leave you in a bad spot. New, on the other hand, is doing everything that she can to stay alive. New plays defense reaction, she plays cards like Surgical Extraction, Leave No Witnesses. Erase Face has seen a big tick in the metagame, doing anything she can to slow Cindra down and control the pace of the game. Thanks for stopping by, guys. I hope you enjoyed the match. Alright, we're playing against New, and we are going second. I guess we'll give up the Ravenous Rabble here. Although there's only like 3 blues in our entire deck at this point, I still think it's better. We'll take this one. I think we'll go ahead and take the Beckoning Mistblade Dagger. I kind of like our hand. Being able to set up the Sink Below and Arsenal could be really good for us. And, I mean, plus this hand's just really good. This hand's super solid. We get to just throw... you know what? I will flick the Kunai here just to try and keep Mask of Momentum as alive as possible here. Now, it's very reasonable that our opponent would actually just block the Display Loyalty here. Yeah, makes total sense. It's like the idea of us ever getting Mask of Momentum in this matchup is not very likely, but we're still going to do everything we can to keep it alive as we go through the game here. We're going to choose to get our dagger back, and then we're going to put our opponent to 35, and we're going to Arsenal the Sink Below here. I mean, our hand's fine, right? Like, we could just block 5 here and take 1. We could... What if we blocked Mark with Magma, and then we went Rising Resentment, Blaze Headlong, into Flick a Kunai, and then use a resource to throw Demonstrate Devotion? I don't think the Erase Face really matters here. I would rather save my Sink Below for a more relevant card here. And I don't think we're really going to get hurt here. We lose our Fealty token on this turn, but I don't really think that matters, to be honest. That's fine. Blaze Headlong checks for a red card, so we still have Go Again. This is perfectly fine. I'm going to use the Flick Knives here. We're not going to be able to get back our Kunai at this point, but we are going to gain a resource here, and we're just going to throw an extra 4. I would love to be able to activate Cindra this turn, but Erase Face does shut that down a little bit. So this could be a situation where they have the card that banishes cards, the Sacred Art, whatever it's called, and they could actually get one of our daggers, which could be pretty bad for us. But I think this is fine. Do I want to just block this with 1? Like, do I just want to throw the Dragonscaler Flight Path in front of this? And then we can go Ignite, Hot on Their Heels, Burning Blade Dance, and then we have the ability, if the Hot on Their Heels hits, we can use Flick Knives on the Kunai, and then we can throw Art of the Dragonfire. We can throw this as a 1 for 5 no matter what. I think I'm just going to jam the boots in front of this, and if they just nick it, they just nick it. Okay, that's fine. They're going to activate Mask. I'm going to get rid of the Art of the Dragonfire here. I think that's perfectly fine. We still have a pretty good turn lined up. So it's going to be Ignite as our starter. It is worth mentioning we could pitch our Ignite here to throw the Kunai, but it's 1 less damage. And I think I would rather just get aggressive if possible here. So they're not going to let us mark them, which ultimately is a good decision, I think. I'm going to throw Burning Blade Dance at them for 3. This also allows us to flick our dagger, which could be pretty good. Ooh. Defense reaction? Oasis Respite? That's fine. I'm still going to flick our dagger here. There is a potential that we get blown out by the Sacred Art here, and with that in mind, it would feel really bad if we weren't able to flick our daggers the rest of the game. But I think we need to be a little aggressive on some of these turns. We can use Sink Below and put the Ancestral Empowerment on the bottom. Yeah, I think that's just our best play here. We can just give the Sink Below, put Ancestral on the bottom, and I mean, this hand's fine. Honestly, this hand's not great. I'm trying to think of what our turn looks like how we could play this turn out to make it work for us. We could use the Throw Dagger to try and draw into a card. Without a brand or a fealty token, we don't really have the ability to use our Art of the Dragon Blood. I want to Arsenal Shelter from the Storm. Having a defense reaction in Arsenal is going to be very key for us to win this game, I think. Being able to protect ourselves from any kind of disruption is really solid. I mean, I guess I could just pitch Art of the Dragon Blood and Lava Burst. I really don't like that play, though, because we're just pitch stacking a really awkward hand here again. So I think what we'll do is I'll pitch the Lava Burst. We'll come in with a dagger. And then I will pitch the Throw Dagger to throw our other Kunai here. Yeah, I think blocking like that is very smart. I am going to use Flick Knives on the first dagger. We're not going to gain a resource here. And then I'm just going to throw Art of the Dragon Blood at them. And then we will activate Cindra for 1 to get our other dagger back. And we're just going to push a little bit of damage here. Our opponent blocks with a Fate Foreseen, which makes a lot of sense. I think that's a very clean block for them. And then I'm just going to go ahead and Arsenal the Shelter from the Storm. I do like this hand a lot. This hand feels really good. We have to consider the options. We have to really consider our options here, I would say. We can say no blocks and just let them take whatever they want out of our deck. If they use a Rousing Wave, which they're going to do, I think. I think this is going to be for 10. That's what I'm suspecting here. I'm suspecting this is going to be for 10. I think I'm just going to say no blocks here. I think much like when we play Aurora, we just... they had nothing. It was a total bluff, and we called it. Wow. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I can safely say I did not see that coming. So we're going to lead on Oath of Loyalty. This is a card that I've kind of come around to. I wasn't a huge fan of it at first, but I think since we're on way more red line variation of the deck, I think that, it's okay. I think it's okay to have in our deck now. I really like the ability to end on Lava Burst here. I'm going to play Flick Knives, and we're going to just hope that they do not have the Sacred Art. That's pretty much where we're at right now. I'm going to throw Burning Blade Dance for 3 go again. Technically, because of Flick Knives, if this hits, this will be our second Chain Link, or our second on-hit Chain Link towards Mask. I'm going to go ahead and get both of these back, and if they let it hit, I'm going to flick one of these daggers at them. It's just an extra piece of damage. I don't know why we wouldn't at this point, to be honest. And then it's going to be Lava Burst for 5. Now, do I want to give... Actually, I can Mask because of the new rules and then use Dragonscaler Flight Path. I mean, this is probably as good as this is... Oh, wait, I can't play this. I actually cannot play this because of Oath. So I'm very glad we did not make that decision. It would have been okay, I think, but... I mean, they can give me the arm piece here, right? I still think it's fine if that's how they want to play this. I was like, you're going to activate Mask for sure. I'm going to banish this. And then I'm going to give you Shelter from the Storm. And if you want to take an extra card out of my hand, I am going to force you to use the Arousing Wave here. Which, honestly, this is not that bad for us. This is actually okay. They banish a Blaze Headlong, and then they'll probably take the Ravenous Rabble. I was like, it's just the most damage. It's what I would take in this situation. So I'm not really interested in arsenaling anything here, although they've only pitched one codex. Maybe I should just throw Rising Resentment and arsenal the brand. I don't hate that, to be honest. I don't hate that. We're up 18 points. We can set up an arsenal and try to play like a really powerful 5-card hand. So far this game, I have really went out of my way to only arsenal defense reactions. That is because I want to have protection in my arsenal. I'm not interested in like trying to leave myself exposed. But at the same time, this is not really a great hand. To even activate Cindra, we would have to, I don't know. We'd have to like play pretty poorly, I think, is how I would see this. So it would be Brand with Cinderclaw into Flick Knives, the Dagger, Devotion. We have to be able to keep our whole hand to make this happen here. Like, our hand's not great. Looking at our hand, it's just not great. I think I'm just going to keep my hand. I'm not going to block the Scalpel. I know that technically it like ticks down on our Wax On here. Whenever this banishes a red card, I mean, they're going to gain a life and draw a card, but I don't really think we have a way to stop this. Right? Oh, it's action cards, so that's actually insanely good for us. That's awesome. So it's going to be Brand. Yeah, so we're going to go Brand. Then we're going to go Demonstrate with Devotion, Pitching Mark with Magma. This is going to create a Fealty token for us. My opponent is going to play Oasis Respite almost assuredly here. And then I can't decide if I want to flick and use a resource to have them both. I don't think it's worth it. I think I'm just willing to let them go to 17 here and arsenal a good card. Yeah, I think this is fine. So it is Fire Tenet, Strike First, Ronin Renegade, this hand's actually kind of weird. Yeah, this hand's weird. I mean, it's fine. Like, I guess the floor of this hand, oh, they got a reaction. Man, that is so good for us. So, like, I guess this hand is just Strike First, Ronin Renegade for 5 into Lava Burst, Arsenal the Blood Runs Deep. We could use the Fealty to play. So, let's see, is there a better line for us here? What if we use Fealty to play Fire Tenet Strike First and then go Ronin Renegade into use Blood Runs Deep to flick both of our daggers, throw Lava Burst? I actually kind of like that play. Using the Fealty here feels really good. Now, I know that there are some cards in our deck that we're trying to save the Fealty token for, but I think this really just enables our hand. It's going to be 4. We've thrown 3 into 4 into 4. I was like, they might just take 4 on this one. So this is our 3rd Draconic Chain Link. So because of that, we can actually save our Cindra activation and force them to give us Mask here. All right, so this doesn't stop Mask for them. We flick the daggers at them, so we still have Mask. And I love this because we can wait to use Scalers in Resolution. Ignite is not worth. This is a great arsenal. With only 1 card in hand, they no longer have the ability to blow us out by getting back by using their Sacred Art. 1 well, I gotta tell you, this really worked out. So it is Ignite for 2. It's gonna make our Demonstrate Devotion cost 1 less, which is perfect. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and play the Throw Dagger. I would like to have as much information as possible here this turn. Plus, it's an entirely new card. That kind of stinks. I mean, that would have been great to have, like, 1 card earlier. It's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine, because we're going to pitch Oath of Loyalty to Kunai, and then we're going to throw Oath of Display Loyalty, flick the other Kunai, get him back for free. Yeah, it's definitely not how I wanted it to play out, but it is what it is. Actually, I wonder if there's a world where I'm supposed to pitch the Wax on and keep the Oath for next turn, since we're playing so much offense here. I mean, it's currently 32-9. We are in complete control of this game. I think that we probably just need to continue to play offense here. And then it's Display Loyalty for 3. Now, I am a little worried that they could have the Sacred Art here, since they're just taking a bunch of damage, but I think it's fine. I think we're just going to get aggressive. At this point, even with them being at 7, even if they do have the Sacred Art, we're probably able to close the game out. So I'm just going to Arsenal Oath of Loyalty and pass here. Drawing into the sink below is so good for us. I am going to... We have 2 Felties, right? Yeah, this hand's insane. We don't even need the Felty, really, because of Bram with Cinderclaw, but this hand's insane. They're going to make us banish a card from our hand. Okay, so... Yeah, I think we're just going to banish the sink below here. Like, they don't get a card from our hand. Like, Bonds of Attraction does not get a card from our hand. It just lets them gain a life here and go back to 5, basically. Which is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know. That hand's not that impressive. In fact, that hand's really not impressive at all. Okay, so we're going to lead on Oath of Loyalty, which is 4 go again. I'm just going to go ahead and use the Throw Dagger here. I mean, they're blocking... Oh, I can't play Throw Dagger. Yeah, I mean, we might as well. I don't know why we wouldn't. The Felty token's there for us to use. Wax-On's fine. Do I want to use a resource just to throw the dagger at them? Probably, right? The 1 point here from the Kunai is better than... The 1 point from the Kunai here is actually better than the... is better than Threatening Mask. Plus, they kind of have to let this hit because of how low they are in life. We're not going to gain a resource. Brand with Cinderclaw is going to be for 3. They block this. We use Flick Knives to keep Mask of Momentum alive. They go to 2 off the Flick Knives. We're not going to gain a resource. We don't need to. Because of Bram with Cinderclaw, we're going to play Art of the Dragon Blood, which is going to be a breakpoint, and it's going to be on a Mask chain link here, which means they can give me 2 cards, or they can give me a card and Mask. I think card and Mask is pretty clean here. Works pretty well. I'm going to activate Cindra for free to get both of my daggers back. It was technically possible for them to banish my Kunais there, but... They're going to play Sigil and go to 5. All right. And then we're going to Arsenal the Wax-On here. This is not a great Wrath of Retribution hand. I can play the Wax-On for, like, basically insane value. And then it would be Oath of Loyalty, crack Felty token, pitch sink below to come in for 5, for 7 basically. We'll just give up the Wax-On. Man, Wax-On has looked so good this game. We've gotten to eat two really powerful effects with that so far. I think arsenaling the Wrath of Retribution is basically just going to end the game, because we're going to take at least a couple of cards out of their hand here. If they go to 1, they're just dead. So crack a fealty token, and then it's going to be Art of the Dragon Fire. We're going to put them down to 3. This requires at minimum 2 cards or another defense reaction. And then I think we're just going to go ahead and flick one of these. We'll go ahead and put them down to 2 here. I'm not going to use my resource to get it back. Or should I? I guess I should because I have the Wrath, right? Like, I might as well just go ahead and use that to activate Cindra here, since I have 2 Draconic Chain Links. Get the full value out of our chest here, and whatever they attack us with, we'll probably just block with Mask. I mean, we drew into Shelter, so that's good too, but we can just block with Mask to protect our Wrath of Retribution here. Okay, so this is actually insane. So it is Ronin Renegade. Drawing the Ignite this turn, bonkers. Bonkers. We're gonna end the game this turn. There's no, like, they're not Warrior, there's no Kabuto on the other side of the field for us to worry about. We're absolutely gonna end this game right here. The fact that, like, the one codex they played against us virtually did nothing was insane. I kind of wish that Shelter from the Storm had been a Blood Runs Deep, but you know, beggars and choosers and all that. I think they see the writing on the wall here. Yeah, our opponent just concedes because there was no way for them to stay alive at that point. One of my favorite things about this matchup from Cindra's point of view is that since we're mostly redline, we get to bring in 9 defense reactions to just block out all of their relevant on-hit cards. Now, we can still get blown out with Venomous Bite and Hiss from time to time, but for the most part, we're really protecting ourselves, and all we ever really want to arsenal is defense reactions. It also really works out for us because almost every card in our deck costs 0, so we can just use defense reactions and then throw 3 to 4 chain links at our opponent every single turn, plus the incremental value we get over Flick Knives throughout the course of the game. On my opponent's turn 5, I did get really lucky. My opponent threw a Bonds of Agony at me after just blocking with the Arousing Wave, and they had 2 cards in hand, which was pretty telling that they were going to Bonds and take some cards out of my deck. Now, they just passed from here. I don't really know what they had in their hand. I don't know if they felt like a bluff was the only way to really get them back into the game or what. It was a really interesting play, and me not blocking at all really panned out for me because it gave me all the momentum and they basically did nothing on their turn. On turn 9, I had a pretty strong hand, but using my fealty token to use the First Strike Fire Tenet into a Draconic card really opened up my entire hand to play every card from my hand and my arsenal and get both of my daggers back. Now, normally, I'm a pretty big fan of saving my fealty tokens for Art of the Dragon Blood or Art of the Dragon Fire, and really in like tricky situations, but in that moment, we were already pretty ahead, and we had a great hand that allowed us to push Mask of Momentum, and it just made sense to use the fealty token to push a ton of damage right there. Guys, if you see anything you think I missed, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear about it. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys.